Before we dive into today's episode, we want to provide a quick discretion notice. Spirits with Crime is a podcast that explores true crime and paranormal stories, often delving into unsettling and sometimes disturbing subject matter. The content we discuss may not be suitable for all audiences, and listener discretion is advised.
While we strive to present these stories with respect and sensitivity, we understand that they may evoke strong emotions or discomfort. We encourage you to care for your well-being and pause or skip any segments that you find distressing.
Many of the topics we discuss are based on real-life events, and we make every effort to provide accurate information. However, due to the nature of the subjects, details may vary or be subject to differing interpretations. We encourage further research and exploration for a comprehensive understanding of the stories we present.
Lastly, our themed cocktails are meant to enhance the overall experience and provide a unique connection to the episode's topic. We remind you to drink responsibly and be aware of your own limits. Never drink and drive. Enjoy the episode.
Hello, spooky people.
Hello.
I feel like I have to yell. I don't know how loud this is going to be.
You probably should yell because...
I probably should yell.
Yeah, I don't need to yell.
Probably not. Your voice carries different than mine, I think.
What does that mean?
I think your voice just carries in the air a little better.
It's a thing?
Yeah.
Why?
You know, some people you can hear across the room and some others you just can't.
Well, that's just because they're quiet.
Even if they yell super loud.
Oh.
Like, it's not as clear.
I thought I was just really loud.
Probably both.
Oh, okay.
Welcome to Spirits with Crime. If you're new here, hello. Thanks for joining. I know we have a bunch of people that have been joining us on YouTube.
Yes. That's exciting.
Yeah, we have like 11 subscribers, and I'm pretty sure most, if not all, of our videos have like 7 or more views. I don't know how long you guys are watching, but you started it, so
it's a good start.
That counts. We're your hosts, Danielle
And Carly.
and we're as excited as always to get into the story, I think. It's, we started this poll on social media, so if you guys don't follow us, you should, so that you can tell us what you want to hear, give us some information, like, do you want this? Do you want that? Did you like the episode? Did you not?
Give us a story
that
you want covered.
It could be a personal story. It can be a story that you heard, a friend's story, anything. Anything would help because I don't want to say we've been lost with deciding what we're going to cover, but it gets harder.
It gets harder because we don't know what the people like more, but that poll helped, so hopefully we're on the right track.
I hope so. A lot of people answered because we posted it on ours as well as the podcast. So it was
overwhelmingly more hauntings and all that.
Yeah.
Very overwhelmingly.
You guys want the paranormal ones, so we're here to bring it to you.
We're here to work with that.
For everyone who's been listening and watching, are you tired of us yet? I hope not.
Well, it doesn't matter. We're still going to keep going.
That's true. In our last episode, we discussed the congressional hearing about the aliens. So, it's big news. No one cares about it. Really. I cared about it. I think it was interesting.
I thought it was super interesting. That's why I watched the 2-hour, 22-minute version of it.
She watched it so that we don't have to. I just listened.
I watched the whole thing.
But, we do have bigger fish to fry. There's other things to worry about. But I think, 20 years ago, the topic of aliens was just like, oh, you're stupid. You think aliens are real?
Oh, with your tin hat.
So, I think it's a big thing that they're discussing
a huge deal.
And also,
this is the first
what
time.
Are they hiding? That they don't want us to know. And that's why they released the aliens.
Yes. This is the first time they've acknowledged that they're alive, and the first time it was reported was in the 30s.
Yeah.
So we're almost 100 years later,
And now the government is finally being like, well, people that are defying the government are finally being like, oh, well, yeah, they exist. It took you that fucking long?
Mm-hmm.
Are you kidding me? And yeah, also that does bring the question, what are they hiding for the reason that they brought up aliens? Because I have not heard a single thing after that hearing. There's been nothing.
Yeah.
There's been nothing. And they're supposed to have another, and they denied them the skiff thing, so who knows if Mr. Grush is going over there telling them shit. Who the hell knows? But we're not gonna know because the government is sus.
It's like what's that show called? It's the Marvel show with, you wouldn't watch it because you don't like that stuff.
I don't.
With Nick Fury and the Kree and everything, like, takeover. What's it called? Alien Takeover or something like that. I don't remember. But literally, people in the government have become these aliens, and like a bunch of people are these aliens, and they can transform themselves to look like regular people.
Oh shit.
So they were abducting them, they put them in their little like devices and took their memories, and they were just pretending to be them, but they're really aliens, and they're in the government.
Oh my god.
That's what's happening, probably.
Maybe. Have you seen Race to Witch Mountain?
Yes.
With Dwayne Johnson? That's what I think of.
That's really funny.
Is her name Anna Sophia Robb?
That's probably what happened.
Isn't that her name? Anna Sophia Robb?
Is it?
She was Leslie in
The one with the white hair?
Bridge to Terabithia.
Oh. Maybe.
I think it's
Is
Anna
that her
Sophia
name?
Robb, no?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I'm horrible
I'm
with
usually
names.
really good with that, but...
I don't know. Other than that...
Sorry.
You're gonna look it up.
I have to. Oh my gosh, she said... His phone got stolen? Yup. What an idiot. Okay, hold on. Let me... Sophia... Yes! I was right. Anna Sophia Robb.
Oh.
Ha ha ha!
I would never have remembered
And
that.
then Kato from The Hunger Games is the brother.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, if you guys couldn't tell, we're in a different environment today.
It's more comfy.
It is more comfy. We're trying things out. Let us know if you guys like it. I hope you can hear me. It's a bigger room, so I don't know if...
I know you can hear me.
That's true. But we're trying it out. Let us know. We might keep it this way. We might not. We might have to move to a whole new place. So things are happening.
Yeah, there's
We're figuring it
asbestos coming out.
Pretty sure. Pretty sure it's something bad like that.
I mean, my allergies have been worse than ever.
Me too. Me too.
And ever since
Really
Rafa
bad.
poked that goddamn hole in it, that's when I've been having really gnarly allergies.
Me too. I swear there's mold up there.
There's 100% asbestos,
Just
mold, whatever.
Well, before we get back in to the whole storytelling portion,
storytelling portion.
I think we should start a little like series within our episodes where I've been trying to do this since we started, where I'm like, what should we cheers to? Like, what, blah, blah, blah. But I never quite knew how to phrase it, and I think I should just ask you, what is haunting you? Because that seems the most accurate.
Fair enough.
So, what's haunting you this week, Carly? Other than the ceiling.
Natural disasters.
That's true.
There was a big earthquake, and it was horrifying.
That is for sure what's haunting me, too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, to earthquakes.
Earthquakes. Cheers.
Them shits are scary.
For those of you not in California, we have the tropical storm Hillary that is hitting us. It's not as bad as everyone has made it out to seem.
Dude, they made you sit there and think that it was Category 4, which, by the way, Category 5 is the highest. I looked it up.
I never thought it would be that bad. I thought it would for sure just be like really heavy rain like California usually gets, which is what's happening.
Pretty much. But it's not even that.
It is flooding here.
Oh,
kind of.
Rafa showed me a video of
flooding.
Palm Springs. It's pretty gnarly there.
I don't even want to know how it is in LA.
Yeah.
But it's flooding, like it's heavy rain. But then we also had an earthquake today.
And I have never experienced both at the same time, so it
neither.
horrified me. Absolutely horrified me. Like, both of us, the bed was shaking. We're both like to our mans, we were like, what are you doing, bro? Like, we were in our head, like, oh, like, why are they wiggling like that? No, he goes, then Rafa looks at me, do you feel that? And I'm like, stop it. Stop it.
I thought Chad was moving too, because our bed moves. Like, we have one of those mechanical beds where you can sit it up so you can watch TV, and where you can put the feet up or whatever. So we had it sitting up so we could play our game and like watch TV. And it was shaking really violently. And I thought he was just like moving, like
Rafa
getting
too.
comfortable, you know?
Yes.
And I looked at him and I was like, what are you doing? And he looked at me like, what do you mean? And I looked at him like,
oh my god.
And he was like, it's an earthquake. And I was like, no.
I hate earthquakes. They horrify me.
They horrify me too. I'm always in bed, so it's always the worst. And I'm always not on the first floor. So it's even worse. It's just horrifying.
So fucking scary. Every time an earthquake every time an earthquake hits, I'm sitting there and I'm like, we need an evacuation plan because I'm going to die.
Yeah, I was like, should we get under the bed right now? And then I was like, Teddy's in his crate. Like, do we get him?
Exactly. That's what Rafa was saying. I was like, so what would we do? He's like, well, we just run and we get under the dining room table.
Our dogs are not going to sit under the table
with
us.
Exactly. And I said, so what about Xena? He goes, she'll follow us. I said, what?
No, she wouldn't.
Well, she'd follow us to here, but she wouldn't follow us under the fucking table and sit there.
Teddy for sure would not. He wasn't even fazed by the earthquake.
He wouldn't even care.
He looked up at us like...
Yeah.
He's not fazed by the rain either. Jumping through puddles and shit. I was like...
Dude, that bitch hates the rain. She would not. She refused to pee or poop until Rafa got a fucking umbrella and had to hold it over her while she pooped.
Sounds about right.
I'm like, you're a princess.
Like mother, like daughter.
Yeah, it's fair enough.
Like father, like son.
Alright, fair enough. Fair enough.
Alright, well... Since you guys have been waiting so patiently.
Oh my god, Teddy totally has golden retriever energy.
He does, yeah.
Oh my god.
Absolutely.
Sorry.
Did you not see him fucking, like, knocking me over trying to get on top of me?
He was also licking your
Literally,
armpits.
like... Chad.
Inside your armpits.
Well, Chad doesn't do that.
He might as well.
Alright. Sit back, settle your spirits. Today's topic is... Ew! Put that down right now. I don't even want to look at that.
Hey, that's all your dog.
I know. I know. Today's topic is the Enfield Poltergeist Haunting. So,
I've never heard of
this. You don't know anything about this.
Have
you watched the Conjuring series? All of them?
Not all of them.
Okay, we're gonna watch that one later.
Okay.
If we have time. Because...
But I watched Amityville and it sucked.
Well, that was an older movie.
No, I watched the one from 2016.
That's still pretty old.
It got 9%. Have you seen Interstellar? That was from 2014.
That's true. No, the Conjuring series is pretty scary. This one's actually pretty creepy. It's not the creepiest of them, but...
the scariest movie is creepy. The one that I saw with you guys
about the Evil Dead.
Oh my god, that shit was so fucking scary.
The Evil Dead.
That one was really scary. Like, that wasn't like creepy. That was horrifying.
Yeah,
I was really scared of that one.
It was really scary.
Scary.
No, this one is. I mean, you'll hear about it. And you'll see it because I'm gonna show you the movie.
I mean, we were watching it, and you and I were like head to head right here, and I was like.
Listen, I watched that movie in the theaters.
Oh my god, fuck
and
that.
I was still scared here.
Oh god.
Watching it, it's creepy.
No, it's a really scary movie.
I don't like the way they move in movies like that.
And the fact that it's like your mom too, like, ugh.
I know.
Oh, so creepy.
Rough. But this one is interesting. So, this one is involved in a lot of like pop culture. There's the Conjuring movie was based off of it, like one of them, because it involves Ed and Lorraine Warren, and that's what the Conjuring series is about. I'm just gonna get into it. It's a haunting, as you all know. There was a
you can't hide me from that long.
There was the Conjuring movie that was based on it, and there's also a TV show, I think, called The Enfield Haunting, which is supposedly scarier than the Conjuring movie.
I just threw up in my mouth again.
Yuck. So the Enfield Haunting series is supposed to be scarier than the Conjuring movie that's based on this. So maybe we watch that instead, because I haven't seen that one. I don't know.
Yeah, let's watch that one.
Okay. Okay, so this
I don't
haunting...
think anyone's going to be going to work tomorrow, if I'm going to be real here.
I mean, we'll see at this point.
I don't think anyone... I don't think
it seems like it's getting worse. So
I don't think I will be, because I am not driving through those goddamn canyons. Ain't no way.
Well, I guess I'll see, because I work pretty close.
Yeah.
Okay, so this haunting started in August of 1977.
Yes, I saw that.
Okay. Single parent Peggy Hodgson.
Oh, that's such an ugly name.
Well, that's what she's got.
What's the full name of that? Pegula? Pegula?
Peggy?
Yeah, what's the full name of that?
I don't know.
Pegula.
Pegula?
Pegula. Like Pamela?
I don't think so.
Or Pegula.
Peggy's a full name. In 1977?
Peggy is not a name. There's a full name for that, for sure. Pegasus.
Pegasus Hodgson.
Pegula Hodgson.
Called the Metropolitan Police to her rented home at 284 Green Street in Enfield, London.
Thought you were about to say at 2:84 a.m. I was like, nope.
No. She claimed that she had witnessed furniture moving around and that 2 of her 4 children had heard knocking sounds on the walls.
Oh my god.
So she called the police. Those 2 children that were experiencing this were Janet, who was 11 at the time.
That's my aunt's name.
Really?
Janet.
Oh.
She's a dud.
What?
Like, she's super lame.
Okay. Well, sorry, Janet. And then Margaret. And then Margaret, who's 13. Okay. So Margaret's older. They, all as a family, after this had happened and after she called the police, they fled to their neighbor's house because it was, like, really intense. And a woman police constable reported when she got to the house...
What is a constable?
It's like the police officers in London. They're called constables.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So like the ones with the hats?
Yeah.
I want one of those hats.
Me too, honestly.
We should wear them for a podcast episode.
We should.
We should wear the whole thing. We could do a changing of the
uniform?
guards right in the living room.
Okay. So she reported witnessing a chair wobble and slide in the house, but she couldn't determine the cause of the movement. So she was like, weird stuff is happening here, and you kind of see that... The
13-year-old?
No, the constable. When they got there.
Oh, when they got there.
She witnessed this, and she was like, I don't really know what to do about this. I didn't see anyone moving this chair. That's a little weird. And
that's a little weird. That's all she had to say about it?
Well, she didn't say that exactly, but she just stated that that's what she saw.
That's still... Okay.
And you can see that in the movie, in The Conjuring, like, that does happen, and she does witness it, like a woman police constable witnesses it in the movie. And then later on, as investigations continue, there are claims of disembodied voices, very loud noises, thrown toys, overturned chairs, and then also children levitating.
That sounds horrifying.
Yeah. It's one of the scariest hauntings that people still believe to this day.
Oh my god.
The next night, after the police were called and everything, Vic Nottingham, which was one of the neighbors, had gone back to the home to check in and was assaulted by flying toys. Like Legos, they were just hitting
Assaulted by a flying toy?
Yeah, they were just hitting him in the face.
Wait, that's really funny. I'm being assaulted by Legos? You learn something new every day.
These assaults persisted for 3 days.
So he's just going around the house getting his ass beat by Legos,
well,
and he's just cool with it?
Not him specifically, but anytime someone would come to investigate, they were being assaulted by flying toys. Okay, so this persisted for 3 days. Members of the council and the clergy couldn't help. There was just nothing that they could do. Like, at that point, they were like, you need a professional to come. So people kept being assaulted by all these things, but
I thought it was just toys.
well, yeah, but there was moving furniture and
Oh, yeah.
disembodied voices. So when priests would come and stuff, they were like praying, you know, they were doing the whole thing that they could do, and nothing was helping.
That's horrifying. I'm gonna drink your tequila, Cran. Is that okay?
Yes, that's fine.
I won't drink all of it, or maybe I will.
Okay. So at a loss as to what to do, on September 4th, Mrs. Nottingham called the Daily Mirror, like a reporting, like newspaper,
Okay.
hoping that they could do something to help.
Have you seen Bedtime Stories?
No.
With Adam Sandler?
No.
Alright, never mind.
Okay. The Mirror sent a reporter named Douglas Bentz and a photographer named Graham Morris to the house.
Grandma Morris?
To investigate. Grandma Morris.
Oh, Grandma Morris?
No.
Oh.
Graham Morris.
That's an ugly name, too.
Well, nothing you can do about that either.
That sucks.
Graham Morris later said, "I thought it was an ordinary job until I walked into the house. I stood in the gloom of the kitchen, and one by one, they brought the children into the adults' arms, and the last one to come in was Janet. Suddenly, things just took off and started flying around the room. I got hit by a Lego brick right over my eye. It gave me a lump for a few days. There was a fair bit of force."
How big was this Lego?
He said it hit him really hard.
Damn, these ghosts be strong as hell.
He said there were marbles and things left in the kitchen that were just flying around the room. I was watching all of the family and none of them were doing anything.
Why is that so funny? He had a bump from a Lego? Dude.
I mean, it's funny until you get hit by a fucking Lego.
Yeah, but that's a giant Lego. To leave a bump on your head?
That shit hurts. Have you ever stepped on one?
Yes, but that's very different than getting hit in the face with one.
I don't know. If stepping on one hurts, I think being hit in the face with one would hurt too.
No, I don't think it's that worse. I don't think you get a bump from a Lego unless it's a very large Lego.
At like 10 miles per hour, maybe? You don't think that would leave a lump?
A Lego that's this big?
Yeah. Okay, we'll test it out one day.
Okay. Okay. We'll test it out on Rafa.
George Fallows, the senior reporter at the Mirror, and the photographer, David Thorpe, also visited the house. Fallows believed that Peggy was playing tricks in order to get a house, like, to get it paid off. But
Peggy, the scammer.
But he very soon realized that something very serious was going on. So he thought it was fake until he went to visit the house. He said, because of the emotional atmosphere at the house and in the neighborhood...
like right now?
Fallows is saying, no. No, this is a quote.
I know, I'm just saying in general, like us.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
There's a lot of stuff going on right now.
There is a lot of stuff.
I've been a lot of
very emotional.
I've been a lot of scared of things today.
Me too, if we're being honest. Ranging from hysteria through
my life.
through terror to excitement and tension, it has been difficult to record satisfactory data, is what Fallows is saying.
Fallows.
Nevertheless, I am satisfied the overall impression of our investigation is reasonably accurate. To the best of our ability, we have eliminated the possibility of total trickery. Although we have been able to simulate most of the phenomena, in my opinion, this faking could only be done by an expert.
Where's Houdini?
I know, where is he? Dead.
Well,
when
that
did
sucks.
he die? I forgot.
I forget. This is 77.
Yeah, this is 77. He's probably dead by then.
Wasn't he born in like the 10s?
I don't know. I forgot.
But he would have solved this.
He would have. Immediately.
We need some more Houdinis in our life.
I agree. For stuff like this.
Yeah.
So, Fallows did suggest contacting the Society for Psychical Research, which Houdini was a part of. So they did contact them, the SPR, and they were put into contact with Maurice Gross. Morris? I think in the video his name is Morris, but it's like Maurice. It's spelled like Maurice. So
that's the worst name ever. Maurice Gross?
I think it's Morris Gross.
Ew.
Still pretty bad.
First of all, Maurice is a disgusting, horrible name. Then you're gonna put gross at the end? We already know it's gross. Like, why do you have to make it worse?
It's not his fault.
Yeah, it is. He could change his name.
He was given it, and he took it.
Okay, if my name was Maurice Gross, I would 100% change my name.
Well, he liked it, I guess.
Ew, freak.
He was a
Sorry,
he was a relatively new member to the society, and he joined right after the death of his daughter.
Oh.
Yeah, so are you sorry now?
No, Maurice is still an ugly name. Has nothing to do with his dead daughter. He's just ugly.
She died a year before he joined the society. And all of this investigation was going on.
That's unfortunate.
It is very unfortunate. He visited the house on the 5th of September. On Wednesday of September the 8th, at 1:15 a.m., everybody rushed into the children's bedroom after hearing a very loud crash. The two sisters, Janet, again 11, and Margaret, again 13,
Were pelted by Legos.
no, they were still asleep in the room.
Huh.
But a chair had flipped over and moved about a meter across the room. Don't ask me how far a meter is, I don't know. We discussed this
yeah, we
earlier,
did.
I don't know. This was enough to convince Morris to stay and investigate further. Because everyone thought this was just fake. Everyone thought the girls were just pranking everybody, like making a big stink about something, right? So he was like, we're just coming to investigate because we were contacted. And then he saw this and he was like, I better stay and investigate because something weird is happening.
Okay.
So
I would think that the kids just did it.
Yeah.
And were fucking with me.
Yeah. So
That
that
he
becomes
was like,
a topic
alright, I'm
of
gonna
discussion
stay
later.
anyways?
He decided to stay because he saw the chair move like across the room. And after they stayed, Gross and Fallows reported curious whistling and barking noises coming from Janet's general direction.
Did they have a dog?
No. But it was always coming from Janet. So Janet was the one who was like in the middle of all of this activity. So Morris Gross and Guy Lyon Playfair, someone else who's also part of the
What is his name?
Guy Lyon Playfair. Okay? Just gloss over that.
I'm going to.
They believed that some of these shenanigans were fake, again, but they did believe that some of the other incidents were real.
So Guy Lyon, what's his last name?
Playfair.
is saying that everything else is fake?
He thinks
His name is fake, bro!
they both think that some things are fake, and they think that other things are real.
Guy Lyon Playfair is fake. That is just a word. That is a name. That is a fucking mouthful, dude.
It is a very intense name. I don't know what to say about that.
Also,
anyway,
who names their kid Guy?
a lot of people.
Yeah, with no creativity.
In the 70s, I guess.
Ugh, ew. All I think of is the dude from The Croods.
Me too.
I think of Guy. I'm like, that is so unoriginal. It's the fact that fucking cavemen
Hey, Guy.
have named people that, and you're still naming them this
Our
long?
turn.
Whatever. It's the principle.
As I said earlier, demonologist Ed Warren and his wife Lorraine visited the family in 1978. So like a year after all of this was said to have started. When they visited, they were convinced that there was a supernatural explanation for everything, as per usual.
Wait, when did Ed die?
Don't ask me these
Because
questions right now because I don't know.
Because my neighbor Danielle's girlfriend, Joaquina, said that Ed came to their school because they live in like that area. Came to her school and like talked about it.
Oh. Well.
Ed and their daughter.
Oh. Interesting.
They said that. I don't remember where she was, but she was at a school and it was like a special thing where Ed came with his daughter.
He did do lectures he did lectures.
That's probably what it is because she thought it was Lorraine and I'm like, that bitch died a long time ago. Like, nuh-uh.
He died first.
He did?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I'm thinking the other way around.
Okay. She did continue to do things after he died, but
no, I don't remember, but
one of them.
she said that one of them was at her school.
Interesting.
I don't know if it's true, but
well, who knows?
I mean, she thought so, and it sounded, because I looked it up too, And that school, I forget what school it was, but it was near, like, where they were, and I believe that one of them were there.
Well, that wouldn't surprise me. They did lectures all the time.
So I think it was Ed and his daughter.
That's fun.
I think so.
Oh.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
Yeah.
She told me about it, and I was like, well, because Danielle came in, and he was like...
I could have visited one of their lectures. I think it would have been interesting.
I wanted to maybe, like, sit there and ask her about it, because I did, but,
well, if she remembers anything, maybe we
does.
can have her on the podcast.
She remembers hella.
Okay.
But
you guessed.
it was a little bit too high to remember what she said.
That's fine.
So then maybe we just have her as a guest.
Yeah.
She's super
We'll
sweet.
ask her about it.
I'll ask her about it, yeah, because she literally came in the house and told me about it, and I was like, really?
What a random thing to discuss with people.
Well, because Daniel, you know Daniel, he watches our shit and comments and stuff, yeah.
Shout out to Daniel.
Shout out to Daniel. Daniel Dent. He and Joaquina. They yeah, so he came in the house because he works for my dad.
Okay.
And he was talking about it. He was like, "Oh, like, did you know that?" Because he listened or something to our podcast that was
the
about.
Annabelle one?
He listened to it, or maybe the one before that, something like that. This was a while ago.
You didn't tell me this.
Oh, I forgot. Then he was like, his Joaquina was in the car, and so he was like, "Oh, like, yeah, you know that she like actually like probably talked to them or whatever," and I was like, "What?" And then he calls her and he's like, "Get inside." Yeah, he calls her and says, "Get inside." Like, I was like,
cute.
"Oh," and then she told me about it, and I was like, "Wait, but one of them was dead a long time ago," and she was like, "Oh, okay, I think that it was like the daughter and him," and I was like, "Oh, okay," but one of the Warrens came to their school, at least one came to the school and talked to them. Her.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Well, we probably have to have her on this.
I agree. We will. So they came to the house. This is one of their best known, like, cases. Because it was such a dramatic thing.
And confusing, right?
And confusing because people thought that it was just pranks. Other people thought it was super real. And I do have some pictures and a recording to show you about it. Because it is very interesting. And I think the Conjuring movie does portray it pretty well. But I did hear that other series portrayed it a little bit better. So
well, let's do that then.
Okay. So Janet was actually caught on camera tricking the investigators, which is why a lot of people were like, everything's fake.
Stupid hoe.
So, a video camera in an adjoining room caught her bending spoons and attempting to bend an iron bar, which is something that happens in the Conjuring movies. They catch her bending stuff.
Oh.
So, she also banged a broom handle on the ceiling and hid Gross's tape recorder.
Why is she doing that?
You'll find out in a second. According to Guy, one of her voices, under the name of Bill, like the guy who was supposedly taking her over, his name is Bill. He had a habit of suddenly changing topics whenever you were talking to him, which is a habit that Janet also had. So they were like, we don't know if maybe she's tricking us because they're very similar.
I have that habit too.
Yeah, you do. The girls also did admit to pranking investigators, which is something that Gross and Playfair asked them to retract later on.
Oh.
And they were mocked by other researchers for falling for the girls' tricks. So it's kind of...
Yikes.
No one really knows for sure. But Renee Haynes, a psychical researcher, did note that the alleged poltergeist voice that they caught in audio, which I'm going to show you in a minute, was also being doubted during one of the hearings. So in an SPR conference in Cambridge in 1978, the video cassettes were examined. Anita Gregory stated that the case was overrated and it emphasized the girls' trickery. And another researcher, John Beloff, which was a former president of the SPR, believed that Janet was a ventriloquist.
A ventriloquist?
Yeah. So they thought, because her mouth was barely moving in any of these tapes, or sometimes she would hide her mouth like this, they think that John Beloff, he believed that Janet was a ventriloquist. And
an 11-year-old ventriloquist?
Yes.
She's very talented then.
Yeah. I mean, that's why everyone's kind of on the border of, like, she's tricking us. Because, like I said earlier, you'd have to be an expert to pull off these kinds of tricks.
Has she ever admitted to it?
No. And I discussed in an interview that she has when she's older. So.
Oh.
But an American stage magician, Milbourne Christopher.
Oh my god, another name.
Well, you don't have to remember these names. He's a stage magician.
Okay,
like
Milbourne is the worst one I've heard.
Listen.
That's way worse than Maurice Gross.
Okay. Listen. Forget about it.
Forget about it.
All you have to know is he's an American stage magician. So we do kind of get that Houdini aspect a little bit. He says that he investigated the haunting very briefly, and he believed that Janet was very clever, and he did not believe that anything paranormal was happening, to which a professional ventriloquist agreed.
Ooh.
Many believe that the pictures of Janet levitating are just well-timed gymnastics antics, and because she was a really skilled sports champion, so they were like,
she's a little mini genius.
So yeah, everyone thinks they were just doing this to get fame, so that they could have a house.
They did a great job, because goddamn Janet.
Yeah. So, in 2016, a psychology professor described why he believes it's a hoax.
Okay.
And he has several points, like 5 points. 1, the two sisters did admit to pranking on several occasions. 2, the photo of the levitation looks like Janet is simply just jumping off of her bed. And let me show you that picture, because that's literally what it looks like.
Oh my god.
And I'll put it up for you guys so you can see it. It looks like she's
That's
jumping.
not fucking levitation. That's
right?
Jumping.
So, and that's one of the most famous pictures of this investigation.
Huh.
And on several occasions, she was seen, like when she was doing the bending spoons thing, she was seen to also be jumping off the bed and flapping her arms.
How strong is this bitch for bending spoons?
I mean, in the
and
1970s,
like pipes and shit?
You have to think, like, things weren't that well
I guess
crafted,
so.
like...
Because I'm saying, like, bending metal and shit right now is not easy. For an 11-year-old?
Yeah.
That's not easy.
So, that was happening. And then, also, the spirit, Bill, that took over Janet at times was very interested in menstruation.
Ew, what?
Which, Janet had just started her period when all this was happening. Yeah.
Oh, that's probably when I started mine, to be honest.
That's the normal age. So, they were like, he was like, it's very interesting that the spirit is so interested in menstruation. When
How do we know that
started.
she's so interested in that? That he's so interested
Because
in
when they would have a conversation, he would bring it up. Like
menstruation?
Yes.
Just like for funsies?
Yeah.
What a freak.
Whenever they would talk to him, like, it would just become a topic.
Okay, that's weird. Bill sounds like a pervert.
Eyewitnesses were also very unreliable, like Gross and Playfair. They were there. They wanted to be believed. It was pretty much like the Houdini situation. Like, I don't want to be proven wrong because then I look stupid. So,
well, yeah,
I
you look
this.
real stupid with having animal liver in your budus.
That's
but
true. Whatever. And then also, one of the main things that he notes is that other schoolgirl pranks have gotten out of hand before this case and also after this case. So he was like, who's to say it wasn't just a really well thought out prank?
Dude, an 11-year-old being that well thought out?
Well, the mother could have also played a part in it. So who knows? The neighbors could have taken a part. It could have just been a really good hoax. No one knows. But in a later interview, an adult Janet, so she's an adult now during this interview, she explains the trickery.
What year?
I don't know.
Okay.
She's like 30 years old.
Oh.
2 kids, like not married, but she's old. And so she explains why she tricked everybody when she was
so
tricking.
She says she did.
When she was. She said when things didn't happen, she felt like a failure because real things were happening to them, but then all of these people would come to investigate and nothing would happen. So she's like, I felt like I was letting everyone down.
Oh.
And I felt like I was letting my mom down. So she started faking some stuff with her sister to make it seem like things were happening.
Okay.
She felt obliged to make things happen.
I get that a little bit.
So that people would believe that the haunting was happening to them.
I get that.
And she stated in that interview that 2% of the haunting was fake.
Only 2%?
She estimated 2% of it was fake.
Wow. And she's a smart girl, so she could be tricking us.
Who knows? In any case, a lot of people think that it's very unlikely that an 11-year-old girl could create such a lengthy prank over several days.
Was she taking ventriloquist, classes or anything?
No, she was just an 11-year-old girl.
There's no, that's insane.
I'm going to show you. Well, you're going to hear it. There's
Okay.
nothing really to see, but, and I'll play it for you guys on the YouTube video and also on the audio so you can hear if I can, get it to work that way. But this is what it sounds like.
Can I be asleep in bed? I can't hear you talking. Now,
That's
This is
so
gross.
sweet. Oh.
This is gross.
Come on. Come on, say it for me, Dr. Bell.
So he's trying to get Bill to talk.
Shut the fuck up.
That's coming out of Janet's mouth.
Oh no, that's really creepy.
And this happens in the movie too.
What are they saying?
I don't know. I can't understand a word they're saying because they're British. But isn't that gross?
That's creepy.
Can you imagine?
An 11-year-old cannot make that noise,
Can
dude.
you imagine an 11-year-old making that
No.
sound?
11-year-olds do not
With
make
her
that
mouth
sound.
barely moving?
No.
You'd have to be a really good ventriloquist to make sounds like that.
You would have had to be a 30-year veteran of ventriloquism.
So yeah.
Oh my god, that's horrifying.
So that's what it sounds like. That's exactly what it sounds like in the Conjuring movie as well. But in that movie, they had her put water into her mouth. They all had to turn around, and then he spoke. And then when they turned back around, she spit the water out of her mouth. So they were like, could have been real, could have been
They should
fake.
have done that.
Well, I don't know if they did that in real life,
Oh my god, that's so scary.
but they did say her mouth was barely moving.
Oh, I don't like that.
Isn't that creepy?
That's really creepy.
So a lot of people...
That's not an 11-year-old's voice, dude.
So that's why a
No
lot of people
chance.
can't tell whether or not, this is real, this is fake.
I think that's a fair assumption.
If you ask me, I think that her description of part of it being real is probably true because, yeah, some things can happen to you and then you play it up for cameras. Sure. Is that a crime? No. It sucks for people that are really interested in the story and really want to know what the reality of it is, but that's just fucking showbiz, man. That's how
Showbiz,
it is.
baby.
Showbiz, baby. That's how it is. And you can't control when things do or do not happen. Of course, if there's a fucking shit ton of people in your fucking house, nothing's gonna happen because that's just how it is.
Yeah.
When my dog does something really cool and I bring Carly over, hey, check out this new trick my dog knows. Does he do it? No.
They never do.
So how are we supposed to know if it's real or not? Wow. But I think that voice is pretty compelling.
Yeah, that was scary.
It reminded me of the Dear David episode when you were screaming.
Oh my god, that was scary.
I was like, I might get her to scream again. Who knows? But
Oh, that was creepy. Well, I've learned how to make my voice a little bit smaller. Because
that's unfortunate.
Why is that?
As a woman.
Well, I don't think that's unfortunate because otherwise I talk over you and then it's too loud.
That's true. Well, hopefully we can fix that
At
problem
least I'm
soon.
self-aware.
Yeah, but I want that reaction again.
Well, I have to compose myself, not compel. I have to compose
Wow,
myself.
Christ compels you?
Yes! No, Vampire Diaries, compel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Compelling myself. Just look in the mirror.
okay. I'm sure that's how it works. Well, that's my story that I got for you. I think it was pretty creepy.
I think it was super creepy, and I can't wait to watch the actual movie.
I am excited to watch that series. You should watch both because they're
Okay.
both. Well, the Conjuring one is actually very good, and I did hear that the series was better. So
Okay. Sounds good.
at some point we should watch both.
Let's do it for sure.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All right. Well,
Hope you enjoyed the story.
thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Good night, spooky people.
Good night.